In this video, I'm going to talk about my experiences shooting video on the Fujifilm X100V and share what I learned to better help you make a decision about this camera or how to use this camera if you already own it. So currently I'm shooting on a Sony a6600 and I use this for video, and I use the X100V purely for stills. So I have two cameras. And the reason I wanted to mess with video is because I wanted to see if I could do everything on just one camera, which would be pretty sick. Cut down on the gear, cut down on the weight. It just sounds nice to be able to just use one camera for everything. But with that being said, I've never heard of anyone really using the X100V for video, and Fuji doesn't really market the X100V as a camera used to shoot video. So I think the X100V is good for situations when you're behind the camera. So I've gone out and I like taking photos, and sometimes I need some B-roll for videos I'm making, and I only bring this camera because I can snap some photos and then quickly go into the video mode and also shoot video. And I also usually bring my Joby tripod stabilizer because this camera doesn't have stabilization and the lens doesn't either. So if you have shaky hands, it gets really shaky. So needing some type of tripod or place to leave your camera is really crucial for getting steady footage. When you're behind the camera, and if you can keep the X100V steady either by hand or with a tripod or something, then this is pretty good for shooting video. And that's not to say that you can't shoot yourself on it if you're by yourself. I shot my YouTube channel trailer with the X100V, but with that being said, it was stabilized on a stand, and me in the frame, I wasn't moving around, so it was a pretty simple shoot to do. But when you're trying to vlog or you just have no one else helping you except yourself, then shooting video on this thing can be a real pain in the ass. It's doable, but the fact that there's no flip screen all the way up, you can't see yourself while you're like in the frame, so you have no idea what the composition looks. Not to say that you can't get it done. You can keep going back and forth from where you're standing to the camera to see how the composition is working out, but I've done it and it's just really painful trying to get it right and go back and forth. Whereas if you have a camera with a full-on selfie screen, then like right now I do with this camera, then it's just so easy to get set up. And when you're dealing with things like it's a super hot day or something and you're trying to film and you're sweating just going back and forth, or if you're trying to get a certain angle or a certain shot and you got to put your camera on something where you're not easily able to go up and see the composition, then it's seriously gonna be a pain in the ass. And another thing I ran into during this was the X100V would have a focus issue, like it would keep going in and out of focus. Like, to be honest, I don't exactly know every single setting on the X100V to, maybe say that I'm properly using it. I'm probably not properly using this camera for video, because the way I usually shoot photos on it is I'll just have the focus point straight in the center. So for the video I was trying to do, I was moving, I was on the side of the frame, I was on the left side, and the camera would just keep focusing in and out. And then when I moved to the center, it kind of fixed itself, but not really. It would still go in and out of focus, and I'm not sure what was going on with that. There are some settings in here like movie AF mode, which I tried, didn't work. There's also face tracking for photos, but I don't know if this is updated in a firmware update. I haven't updated this at all since I got it out of the box, so if there's some update with that I don't know about, then maybe face tracking might help. And there's also autofocus continuous AFC custom settings that I haven't tried. I'm saying all this because, one, yes, I'm not properly using the camera the way it should be. Read the manual and stuff. But the fact that you even have to like go through all of that, like even if you knew all those things, all those settings, but still couldn't compose yourself because of the physical limitation of this camera, it's still a big pain in the ass to be able to get something done. There's also a tiny bit of mental load that I noticed where, because I have a dedicated camera for stills and a camera for video, going back and forth or switching my mental model of like, okay, now I'm using my stills camera for video, I gotta change the settings and go through all this. Maybe it's something I'll get used to if I keep on using it, but it's tough. So if you're behind the camera and you've got steady hands or a stabilizer, then the X100V is pretty good. You can go out and killing two birds with one stone. I also think it shines if you do have a dedicated video camera for full-on footage by yourself, like vlog style, but you need a secondary camera, then the X100V is a great secondary option. But that's the flip side of it. The bad situations where this doesn't really shine is if you're trying to do a vlog, I mean, you're just not gonna be able to compose yourself, and you can get it done, but it makes it 10 times harder to do so. Yeah, quick video about my thoughts on the X100V's video capabilities. I just wanted to do some tests because I didn't really see anything about this topic out there, and well, now there is, and hopefully this is helpful in some type of way to help you make a better decision about whether or not this camera can fulfill your video needs. Yeah, all right. Peace, y'all.